Okay, and here we go. Hey,
Hey.
Cheyenne, you are here. Here, let me. I'm gonna try something. This is. Oh wait, hold on. That's not a thing. Okay, let's. I will never do that again. Okay. Hi to the one person here, and everyone else is gonna watch this afterwards. Welcome to our Q&A for the book Always. If you haven't seen it, here's the cover. It's beautiful, and the back just really quick because it's also beautiful. And yeah, yay, Sasha! Hi. Really quick want to introduce Danni Wei, who is the artist.
Hi.
She has done just the absolute most wonderful job with this. It's been a long time coming for this comic to be into the world, but we're both super excited and super happy, and it's been in the world, like on shelves and in stores for a month now. That's just crazy to think about. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So Danni, did you want to like give a little bit of your bio and promote what you are doing right now really quick?
Yeah. So I'm Danni. It's been a while since we've been working on this project, and I'm just so happy that it's here and in physical forms. But in my personal life, I'm just I worked with a lot of things. Like I do art. I've been drawing since I was little, like never stopped drawing, and it's just been something that I've been working on. Thank you. I just love the storytelling aspect and character building in art and comics, and I went to school for art, and I became like a more of a teacher more than an artist in my career, but I'm still doing illustrations on the side. I've been doing scientific illustrations, comics, for newspapers, and just stuff like that on the side. So it's still like a major part of me. It's more like a lot of side projects and my personal development through art. Yeah. And right now I'm just finishing master's for Montessori education. So that's like really a little bit far from art, but I'm still incorporating art in my research process, which is how to teach children how to think as an artist, think as a designer, and like use their visual and sensory cues to develop their artist inside of them. Yeah,
That's
what I'm
awesome.
doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Montessori schools are like they're private schools, but like they really have a focus on like the individual like creative side, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a lot of their development as a whole. So creativity and logical thinking, like order, sense of order, everything.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
It's really full on development for them. So art is like a major part that I'm working on. Like my focus is their creativity.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds really good.
Thanks.
So, yeah. So I guess we'll jump into questions. We have a few already, and I guess we will start off with those. And if anyone has any questions, hello everybody. We really appreciate you. But yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and then we'll get to them. So I guess we will start off with a list that once existed on my phone but now is gone. Okay, there we go. I guess we'll start with how we met. So yeah, we met through my sister, sort of.
Yeah, it's really strange, but it's like such a long chain of events. Like I went to middle school with her sister, and we've been in the same class a few times, and then her sister introduced us through Facebook, right?
Yeah, I think it was Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then later we decided to meet, and we went to the same college. We're not classmate in the same class, but we were in the same year in college. And
Yeah.
then we met
Yeah.
through there. And then we just started going on with this project, and that collaboration brought us together.
Yeah, it was great because at the time I had taken, I think it was a year or two off school, which is the reason why we were in the same like graduating year. Because I had switched from one college to the other, and I was trying to like get into UC Riverside, and yeah, I was trying to fill my time with a bunch of like short stories and like try to make a website and everything that was a real failure, but you know, we learn. And
Yeah.
I was looking for like artists to like do some of my stuff, and my sister was like, "Yeah, I know an artist. Like, here, hook up. By the way, you go to the same university, so like you can meet up on campus. It's even better."
I
So
know. I think it's fate.
yeah, it really was, and like, I mean, we both, I think, were like really drawn to this really sad story that, you know, I was going through some times, and I guess Allie wanted to know what was the inspiration for the story. It was really just an idea that came across. Like, I may have listened to like a podcast that was really sad, like it had a sad story, and I sort of let my mind wander, and it's like, well, what if, and it started off kind of like that. What if, you know, an ex-lover showed up on your door? What if you couldn't say no, even though they were just terrible for you? And just sort of went off from there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like a very melancholy story that it's
Mm-hmm.
like kind of relatable in some ways, even though the characters are really out there. Like they're like normal people that you can at least the main character, he's like someone you can really, it's like someone you might know, and they could be going through that kind of, relationship. It's like
Yeah.
really private and intimate almost.
Yeah. And I guess that was what I had hoped, because like I think the short story that I sent you is only like 3 to 5 pages, maybe. It's
Yeah, it
a
was very
very
short.
short story, and like you did so much like to expand the little details with your art. It is amazing. Like, I almost don't recognize it. Like that didn't come out of my head. That was all you. It was so
Well,
good.
the drawing, to answer one of the questions, it's energizing for me, the drawing part, because it really brings the characters to life for me. Like bringing characters to life, it's just part of my goal. Like just have this imaginary character and kind of imagine everything that goes on. Like, what does their room look like? What does their clothes and eyes and hair and everything, like the tiniest details. So that kind of energizes me from just sketching it out to my first sketches to like the last sketches. And like it's gone through a lot, and that kind of transition is just something that makes it more relatable, like so that it's, you can see that as a real person and not just as a cartoon or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely think you succeed in that. It is amazing. I love it so much.
Because it's a good story that I can relate to. That's why I was able to transition that story into something you can see and feel more. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so I guess we'll go on to another. Someone asked, what was the collaboration process like for you two? And for me, it was, you know, seeking out Danny, and then we had an initial meeting where, like, I know you had a sketchbook, and
Mm-hmm.
we started to just sort of, you jotted down some notes, but I don't think there was really too much on that first day. Was
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, this was like in 2012 or 13.
There, I think, yeah, 2012 or 13. It was a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Yeah, when I first showed you the drawing, it was so embarrassing now that I think about it. It was like the main characters had like turquoise hair, and the girl had like orange hair, and they're like a ripoff of Zoro and Nami from One Piece.
Look, they were initial sketches. It's fine.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh. And then later it became like, it's gone through a lot. But yeah, we met a few times on Skype, just like talking about the stories, and thought about how Yumi was visualizing how the apartment looks like. Is it like pristine, or like does she have like some other person design it and stuff? And I think you said that she just didn't really mind it too much. She just like was a kind of a step back from the design, like I said, and then kind of like dungy, like dark, and like doesn't have a lot of lighting, like mostly natural lighting, just let the day flow and stuff. So yeah, that was like how we visualized the environment. So I just communicated with her and put it all together.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, yes. So, but yeah, oh shoot, well, I was going somewhere with this. Like for me, because again, like we did discuss and we communicated, and then like I let Danny sort of do what she was going to do, and I don't like that first time that you sent me like the pages, just like a couple pages, and the cover, which was at that point I think pink and green, but
Yeah.
it was like it was again, like I keep on saying, it was like it was so much more than I thought like was in my head. It was so great, and you brought so much of yourself and like your imagination to it. But at the same time, like it really felt like this was the world in my head. It wasn't quite as fleshed out because it was a short.
Mm-hmm.
But like just the things that we had discussed really came alive. And I think I only had like 2 or 3 things when you finally gave me the whole thing, like to change, but they were so minor. Like they were, most of it was really on point from what we had talked about. So again, it was like I put down like sort of the bare bones, and then you fleshed it out. And I don't know. It was it was a little nerve-wracking for me because I honestly didn't know what was going to happen, and it blew me out of the water. So
I'm so glad to hear that. And it's
yeah.
just like the last changes were just minor details, but it just adds a little more depth to the story too, which I think were really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cheyenne wants to know, what advice would you give yourself in the past about this project? So I'm assuming like if we were to like tell our past selves things, what would you say?
Stay in contact because I had to chase Yumi down from like goodness from Twitter. I think I had to like because I had her phone number, but then I didn't know she moved to another country like 2 times. Yeah, so yeah, I texted the number that I had, and some stranger sent me back. It was just like, yeah, this is not her number anymore. I think you got the wrong number. And it's like, oh, sorry. And then I had to Google your name.
Oh my god, did you? Okay.
Yeah, and then I found you on Twitter, and I messaged you.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah,
And I
keep in
think,
contact.
oh my
So
God.
yeah,
And I
keep in
think,
contact.
yeah, I was gonna say, I still think that like when you got me on Twitter, I was like, first off, who's this? And second off, this was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I didn't think
And,
we would even respond back or
oh my
like,
God.
yeah,
Well,
because
I'm
I didn't
glad I
have
did.
Facebook anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
quite an
definitely
adventure.
keep in contact.
With your collaborator.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good to have deadlines. Like deadlines is so important because without
yeah.
deadlines, it just didn't happen. At the end, I forced Yumi to give me a deadline so that I can force myself to keep up with that deadline, and that's how it finally finished.
Yeah. But I honestly, I felt kind of bad because like I don't give myself deadlines, so giving you a deadline felt like, I don't know, disingenuous. Like, I don't even do this for myself. Why would I do this for you?
You have to have deadlines from another source, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, give each other
Yes.
deadlines.
Like, yes, I know, Allie, I am terrible, and you know this. So. Oh my goodness. Another question. Do you sell your art anywhere? Or is it just on your website, just there?
It's mostly on my site, but I have been taking commissions in the past. I've
Okay.
done commission works since 2011. Yeah. So I just take requests sometimes and do illustration art, scientific illustrations to like drawing people's houses and just portraits and everything. So it's like just on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So, let's see. Okay. Let's, I guess, go on to the next one. So someone has said it's such an intimate moment and story. Did it take you several times to get the art style and color just right?
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially the hair, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it sometimes takes time for the art style to mature, and I'm kind of almost glad that it took us this long to finish it because I think it's really matured a lot throughout the years. Like
Yeah.
us, we matured, so like our works have matured. Even though you wrote this story like a long time ago, so you probably would have like the same structure of like the story might have changed a lot if you wrote the same story now, but it's still like something that's changed a lot over time. You know, it's like a reflection of our old selves and our own new selves, almost in a certain way. Because
Yeah.
like the timeline of the creation is like a reflection. So yeah, I think this story kind of really hinted at our time in the past, and our art kind of reflected that too. Like if you see the first art and then till now, like the face kind of was more cartoony in the beginning, and now it's more like the eyes are smaller and the characters are actually based off of real like models that I found just on my own research to be based off of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like they're more relatable in that terms too, like their bone structure and stuff, not like just not just empty creations, you know, they're based off of references and yeah. So that's changed.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm trying to think of like what year I actually wrote this, and it must have been somewhere between 2010 to 2012. So like the short story itself is almost 10 years old. And yeah.
Yeah.
So it definitely feel like if I were to rewrite this, it would be a bit more fleshed out. And I think that kind of flows into the future for this universe, if you want to call it that. And yes, there will be more. We were sort of talking about it earlier that we both have, like, you have to finish up your degree and I have to move across country a couple times. So it probably won't happen immediately just because we have other things to accomplish in our lives. But there will be more, and it will be expanding different characters. I think we're going to be following like at least a dual timeline, if not more, and talking about other characters, especially there's mentioned in the book the guy's brother. So we'll probably get to see him at some point on the page. And since this is a huge turning point for these characters, like this is their moment of crisis. We're going to have to like go back and show you all the things that is hinted at and but missed, and also going forward how they're going to resolve this sort of crisis of identity and relationship and kind of like self, really, especially for him. So yeah.
I'm really excited to talk more about that, and just the characters in depth and the story. I'm not sure we're going to go to the past or maybe the future of their timeline. That'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think one of the bigger challenges that is going to be faced with going through this is sort of keeping the tone the same, just because like this is such a melancholy, intimate moment. Like I don't want this to become like something actiony or something melodramatic or anything. So it'll be a challenge, but I think we're up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like a maybe change in atmosphere too, but it'd be different, and it'd be really interesting to see the same people but with different light.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So, next question is, what is something that you learned the hard way that you wish that you had been prepared for? And I don't know exactly what that would entail, but I don't know. I think at least for like the publishing end, I spent the better part of like, I want to say like 3 to 5 days just trying to figure out how to format what we had and try to upload it into Ingram Spark, because that's how I chose to publish it, was through them instead of something like CreateSpace, which would have been a lot easier, but also it would have been questionable quality, as I've heard from other people. And also I wouldn't be able to sell it as widely as I had wanted to, for, like, even insofar as like you can get this in Australia, which is apparently one of the weirder like parts of the world to like publish to. I don't know exactly why, but I keep hearing this. So I wanted people in Australia to be able to purchase this if they ever found out about it. So went through Ingram Spark, but it was hard to get everything in order and then like figure out the site, and that was something I wish I'd been a little bit more prepared for.
Yeah.
But anything for you?
I think probably marketing, because I'm just not a good marketing person. I can have like a product, but then I wouldn't know how to like put it out. So that part is just something that I wish I knew more about. Just like put it out into the world everywhere. There's like, it's a whole thing, like it's a whole thing you can learn. And I wish, like, especially in the modern day, everything is about marketing. Like if you're an artist, you have to be a good social media person, or like distributor, like all of that. You have to self-promote and all that. So that part is something I'm working on. I'm still learning about.
Same here.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for publishing normal novels. Like, you can get picked up by an agent, you can get picked up by a huge publishing house, but if you don't have a following, then they weren't going to spend like the marketing budget, any marketing budget really, on you.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, just like being active on
Mm-hmm.
like different platforms and be consistent about posting and everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, by the way, it's the book is at like a local comic store. I
Yeah.
purchased some copies at the local comic store in my city. So
What's
it's
the
at
name?
a shop called Quest. It's like a pretty cool. They have different um, locations in Redlands, and yeah,
Okay.
they have different places, but they have local comic stores that and they can distribute some of it. So I went to them and like shared it, and they were like, "Wow!" And then they were flipping through it. So it's on the shelf now in the comic store.
I'm so excited. Like,
Yeah,
I need the pictures. You'd be like,
yeah. I will.
"Ma,
I will
look, I
send
did
you
a thing."
the. Yeah, and I'm gonna be going to other art galleries and bookstores to kind of share that with them. They're pretty nice about it, so
That's
yeah.
good. Well, I
Usually
mean,
they're
it's
really
hard to say
excited
no to you as well. So,
because that's a good thing.
yes, it is a very good thing because I would just be like, "Hey, this thing I have."
It's a lot of blood and tears in this.
Yes.
Take it,
I don't know. I'm a bubbling mess. I write things. I can't say things. It's fine.
please.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's like honestly, that's so amazing, and I feel like I know you told me this like how many weeks ago? I don't even know, but like every time I think about the fact that we're in a store, like the owners looked at it and they're like, yes, we will put this on our shelf. How many can you give me? I'm like, wow.
Yeah, literally, I was like, yeah.
Yes. So hey, you're already marketing. It's great.
Yeah, one step at a time. We're all
Yeah.
learning. Yeah.
So, oh my goodness. So, I guess next question before I try to run through the comments is how long did everything take? I mean, I know that from like literally writing the story till when we actually published it was like 8 years, 9 years, something like that. But I guess the art, like from the time you like seriously dedicated, okay, this is what we're going to
Mhm.
do to finish product, how long?
It was like when I first contacted you, like in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Yeah, I think,
again, like much later.
yeah.
But, yeah, so 2017, and then just like the preliminary stuff, and then we had more of the structure down in like early 2018.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then we just started giving each other deadlines, and after that we have like several meetings, and then we have when did we finish?
I think it was October because I went back, and
Mm-hmm.
we were able to like have that final Skype session that wasn't like 10-hour difference. So yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
like mid-October.
yeah. So from like late 2017 to late 2019.
Yeah, so 2 years ish.
Yeah, but it's like really still a side project.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't give too much pressure. It's just like next meeting, I'm gonna send you this, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
very concrete, and then yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully it won't take 2 years again. I don't think
No.
it will.
Mm-mm.
But
Yeah, I think it's just like I had my school and you had to move a lot. So it's just,
Life
finding
makes
time.
things difficult. So.
Yeah, but I'll have more time after May, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we think we've run through all of our questions. So I did want to really quickly sort of discuss and address some of the, what am I thinking? The reviews that we've gotten. Like, it has been mostly positive. I think it has like a 4.6 or something like that stars on Goodreads. And of course, like, a lot of these have been ARC reads. And actually, I think everyone in the chat right now it has received an ARC copy and they really loved it. And yeah, like, most people have given it a pretty high rating. There were a couple 3-star star ratings, and I think it was because it was so short. A lot of people, I think, when I was like, yes, this is a comic, this is a graphic novel. They weren't expecting like an issue of this graphic novel. They were expecting something a lot bigger and has a lot more detail. And I don't necessarily blame them per se, because this is it was a 3 to 5 page story that got turned into a comic. So it wasn't like either of us had a lot to work with. And it was more, I think, for us important that it was in the world rather than something that was going to please everybody. I don't know how you felt about that. But
yeah, thank you for everyone who did a review and helped us getting the words out. It's just, I think the same way, just like it's more of like kind of a milestone for us.
yeah.
Like, it's like a project that's been on our mind and we felt really connected with, and it's finally out there, and just really, even though it's short, it's like very intimate and has a very special place. Yeah, so it's just really happy that it's there.
Yeah,
Finally
definitely.
there, done.
When because I wasn't expecting the comic to actually get there when it did. Mail's out, like, I can forward mail here, and sometimes it takes like a month or two to get here. So when I got it and I opened it, I was a little teary and I was a little verklempt just to have this, like, a book with my name on it and your name on it, and like it was wonderful. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
No one can take that from me. So.
Yeah. So we'll have another work. Like, we'll start another work, and then we can be more structured this time, and not wait 7 years.
Yeah.
Another decade.
Oh goodness. Yeah, no. But I'm kind of hoping that maybe, like, we can make this like I don't know if this is even possible, but maybe like a yearly thing, and it will be just, one issue, another issue, another issue, just because like we're not professionals. Like, you're graduating and you're going to be going to teaching. These are side projects for us. But I think maybe like having that year, like, sort of deadline hovering over us will get us in gear.
Definitely. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I guess that's everything. Hey, you're welcome for the arcs. Like, I chose you guys because you are wonderful reviewers and really good friends, and I hoped that you would enjoy this, and not from a biased perspective, but from, from an objective, like, did you actually enjoy this? Did you weren't just saying things because it's me. But
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. I guess last thing that I want to post, and this is from one of the Goodreads reviews that was left, and she said, "This really reminds me of." I will put it in chat. It's a YouTube video, and it's a dance, and I've only watched about half of it because I'm a mess, but it does really, I think, go like it definitely has this sort of vibe to the story in a dance form. It's quite good. Yeah, I think that's everything for now, I guess. Did you want to promote anything that you were doing or anything? I've posted your Instagram and your website in the description and also in the chat for people to look at. But is there anything else that you want to do?
For now, that's it. Yeah,
that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can they just like if anyone wanted to talk to you or like commission any work, just Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is the best one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Stay in. Don't hang up yet. We'll wrap up afterwards. But I guess unless there's anything. Oh, actually, no. We were going to ask chat really quick because people are still here, still listening to us. Is there anything that you guys, having read the story, would like to know or would like to see for the future of this universe? Yeah.
No, I don't really use Twitter.
Yeah.
Instagram is best for me. And my site, there's like a contact page too. You can go through that.
Okay. But okay, so yeah, definitely gonna like have a little bit for the brother. I mean, we're just sort of brewing ideas and letting things settle for the next couple months, but definitely going to talk about the brother, and he will show up on page at least once. Yeah. Oh, how the relationship fell apart. That's going to be an interesting comic because I think that'll take like the whole thing if we're going to do that.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, definitely going to like. Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at Sasha's what happened before that scene. Like that would I think it would be really interesting to see like his perspective immediately before like how because he's been standing there for hours in the rain. So like why not like go to a coffee shop or something for a little bit? But yeah. Okay. All the things. Okay. All the things. We will figure it out.
What he's been up to before that scene too, like where he's been and.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about it since people have been asking for more, and there's so many possibilities I feel like we can go with. I want to make sure that everyone enjoys themselves. So.
He needs a boombox.
He does not need a boombox. He definitely does not. Yeah. I told Danny, I was like, if anyone's gonna have ideas, it's gonna be Cheyenne. So.
That's great. Just walk around.
Oh. No, it's the 80s Come Back to Me boombox. Oh. Yes. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I think that's everything for now. Yes. So yeah, thank you everyone for showing up. I know this was kind of a short, just Q&A session, but we wanted to do this and make sure that, Danny got her due and her moment in the spotlight in BookTube because she totally deserves it and
Thank
everything.
You. It's a wonderful project. Hopefully we have more like future collaborations and then we can work together more.
Yeah, definitely. Really quick, Shan, I don't think that we'll put it online just because like there's not a real way for us to monetize it that way. But I mean, that's the reason why I wanted to make sure that this was available in hard copy, but also ebook, so that the ebook isn't too expensive. It's pretty cheap, all things considered. $1.99 if you didn't know. But, yeah, I think the website portion, there are a few snippets on Danny's Instagram, and that's kind of the extent that we were, I think, going to go with that. I also have my own website that has the same snippets, and I think if we're going to promote anything more, like give it a dedicated page, it would probably be on my website. So, all right. Cool. So yes, again, sorry, I'm trying to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming, and please leave a review, share, like, subscribe, all those things. Go visit Danny's pages, because her actual website, which is again down below, like it is so cool. I love it.
Thank
It's
you.
animated. All right.
It's just kind of like a little traps here and there that you can click on.
Look, it is so much more creative than anything that I've seen thus far. So
Thank you.
yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, and we will see. Well, I will see you at another time, probably next week. All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.